What's up, everybody? Mic check, check. Hoping my mic is pretty good and you guys are able to hear me. Just waiting for few, few people to join in. Maybe just one or two. Let me see if I'm able to share. Uh, all right, so I just wanted to do a quick update. I know I've shared a lot of my information uh, here on YouTube, and I've been doing Uber for these past couple weeks, and I've been trying to, save some money, put it to the side, so I could buy me an embroidery machine. Now, if you guys know anything about it, about an embroidery machine, the embroidery machines, they cost a lot of money. They're they're from, I mean, they have a high ticket price from 10 to 16,000, and it might take me a while for me to buy me finally a embroidery machine. I don't do as much hats, but I'm gonna try to, if I were to get it. Actually, I'm gonna try to get a Big Brando's advice and outsource any hats, and then kind of keep track of what I'm selling, so that I can kind of figure out if I could make a payment. King Nothing, how you doing? Thank you for joining. So, like I was mentioning, I was watching a video from Big Brando, and he was saying, Nana Slice, how are you? How are you guys doing? So I was watching a video from Big Brando. He was saying for me to outsource the hats. That way I could see how much, where are you guys from? Put in the comments below, where are you guys from? I'm in Los Angeles. Yeah, so I he was telling me to kind of keep track of how I'm giving my how I'm outsourcing, how much I'm making for, when I'm outsourcing my hats, and for me to even, that way I'm able to buy a hat press. That's my goal right now. My goal is to try to get a hat press, and it's a big ticket number. If you guys know anything about a hat press, they're very expensive, and they're from 10 to 16,000. And but when I get to, when I get close to that amount, then I'll call, Ricoma. Ricoma is one of the best leading out there for embroidery machines. And from what I hear on Big Brando's videos. All right, Nana, thank you for joining, stopping by. You take care. Shout out to Nick Gurr for his birthday. You got me on that one. Yeah, so the embroidery machines are pretty expensive, and they're from 10 to 16,000. But I'm still, once I get to that to that amount, I'm gonna start calling them Ricoma, and and you know, I'm gonna I'm gonna ask them, you know, what is the best embroidery machine right now for me, and considering my space, and you know, so there's always other alternatives that you can get, and not always go through, you know, that store as far as buying, you know, the materials. You could always buy the materials from Amazon if it's cheaper. um, any other places where you could get them, you know, for a better price. Just like when I was doing screen printing, I was first ordering it from the store. Um, I was ordering it online, and then I started going to downtown. One of my friends, and he actually took me to downtown, showed me the supply store, and I started going to Ace screen printing supply, and that's where I started. You know, but they're very helpful when I first started learning. Um, you know, I for different designs that you're making, it requires for you to get different size mesh. You know, if for a higher mesh will be for a very um, you know, design, very small designs that you need to apply, and for very you know, for complicated designs. You guys in the chat, leave your comments below and let me know where you guys are from, and let me know if you're getting into t-shirt apparel. I've been doing this since 2016, and before 2016, of course, I was learning. I was, you know, when I was doing screen printing, I don't think it was very easy. I think it's something that it does take a lot of practice. It does take a lot of work, and you know, it's a lot of determination, especially if you're doing it on your own. Nobody's really teaching you. So I was jumping on here on YouTube just like everyone else, right? YouTube University, to try to learn something new. So I came on YouTube. I was learning how to screen print, but little did I know there's multiple steps for me to learn how to screen print. I had to I had to know, I had to learn Adobe Illustrator. I had to learn Photoshop, and then I learned that you could scan any drawing and you could vectorize it. So if it was an image, you would have to probably redraw it. Depends how the picture was. You were able to you were able to vectorize it, and and redo it, you know. And I learned that watching YouTube videos. I kind of self-taught me how to use Photoshop, and yeah, so it was a learning. It took a lot of learning curve, and I would say that I learned it in order for me to do shirts for my kids. That was my first thing, that and why I wanted to learn how to screen print, because I wanted to make T-shirts that were memorable for us, like me and my wife, to have our kids designs that they would do, and we would do them for us. Little drawings that, you know, that they would do at kindergarten, at school, and I would scan it, retrace it, if I had to. And then, I would mess a lot with the with the fonts, and to make it thicker, the lines. And that's how I started getting into screen printing. So when I say I started in 2016, 2016 is when I really started to sell for other people. um, and I started doing it for, for people, for parents at schools. And so I, like, every order I would get, every chance that someone would order me a shirt, I would get very excited, and I would do the screen. I would do, I would get all these supplies in order for me to start doing it. One color I was doing at first. When I got down to two colors, I actually went over to my cousin's, and he's the one that taught me how to do two colors. So I started doing screen printing two colors, and I kind of learned. He taught me how to do the setup, and to make sure the screens were tight, looking good. And so when I hit the, the two colors, I was able to to make it look nice when I do two colors. And then after that, I started doing three colors, and I think that was my cut. I went from one color to two colors to three colors, screens. So I didn't do no more than that. So as I continued to progress, I started doing halftones. I actually started liking the to do halftones. And I don't think there was anyone in my area at that time. I was living in the city of Bell, and I wasn't seeing anybody around the area that was doing halftones. And you know, a lot of people like that black and white tattoos, and I wanted to be the one doing the black and white T-shirts. The image, right? So either on a black shirt or a white shirt. So I was watching a lot of the YouTube channel, YouTube, and the halftones I learned by Taino Inc. I was watching a lot of his videos, and like I said, I wanted to really be, that person for people to come to me for the halftones. If they wanted to do something screen printed from a person, but they wanted to add all these colors to make it, them, I wanted to show them how a halftone would look. And actually, I made a couple. My father-in-law passed away. I made one of him. A friend of mine's passed away. I made one of him, and then I made a couple after that, and I started to get good, and I wanted to promote it, but then we ended up getting kicked out from our house. Actually, COVID, came around. I stopped screen printing altogether. I stopped um, doing shirts for people, and then I started to just just chill. The only ones that I was making shirts for was for healthcare providers and a construction company for Netflix. That was the only shirts that I was doing. I wasn't doing very many, but it was enough to make a little bit of side money. and and I really didn't promote it as much. I just wanted to know the process for me to know how to make t-shirts. So I think the purpose of me knowing and getting to know more about it was because when I were to get older, I'd be able to to do something else as a side hustle. When I get older, I was like, I'm not gonna work till I'm 65, and maybe I'm a screen print when I get older. But then, honestly, I went to the convention this year. I think it was this year, and I met a lot of people that are in the industry, and a lot of them were saying that when they retire, I mean, some of them were already they 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 had a side, they had their own job, either their wives or um, they would just come home after their regular 9 to 5. They would come home and work on their business, on their side business. But I was like, man, if I can somehow really, you know, level up this so it doesn't become a side hustle, because I was thinking of doing it up until I get older, 65, and then start doing screen printing. I could retire and then I could do shirts for people. But then I started thinking, well, why wait till I'm 65? I'm already 50 years old, and why not start it now? To the point that I'm working my 9 to 5, doing Uber on the side to maintain my side business, and you know, but but I really want to level up my game and do it full time. So I know I'm not gonna always be busy doing my doing shirts, but I want to be able to create content to teach other people. And I have a cousin that does graphic design, and we're still in the works of doing business together. But I want to be able later on to do like a home training. I know the city of Bell High School. They at the school they have a screen printing class for art, and that's where one of my followers um, he goes there and he actually teaches the class. Unique leadership matters. Thank you for always showing up uh, in the on the video on my videos. I really appreciate you, man. Matthew, big shout out to you. And yeah, so I really want to try to level up my t-shirt game, and I want to be able to purchase a embroidery machine so I could provide embroidery uh, for people, and we'll see how that goes. So like I said, right now it's still in the works. I got about $200 saved up. Like I said, I just started um, saving up, specifically for that. I have a um, buy me a coffee for people who want to support me and join my journey and want to be able to to donate. I, we don't try to call it too much donate, sino que, so I speak English and Spanish. On one of my lives that I did, somebody told me that if I could speak Spanish, hey, whatever you guys understand better, if um, I could do titles, I could talk in English, put some Spanish titles, because I want my videos to resonate to a lot of people, and here, from the United States, from Canada to Mexico, wherever. So again, let me know in the comments where you guys from, where you guys located, what is your t-shirt journey. If you already have it, Are you are you doing as a side hustle? You already have an established business? Any tips or that you can give me, or or just just any information, business tips that you guys want to give me? Just shout them out. My someone's just leaving. Nana Slays. Yeah, so I when that time comes for me to buy the embroidery machine, I want to try to buy a budget friendly one, maybe a single header. I don't want to buy something that's not too fancy, um, something that's way out of my pocket. I want to get something that is reasonable, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I maybe I have to do. See, if I start doing research on an embroidery machine, I don't know nothing about the embroidery machine itself. So for me to look it up and be like, oh, this is the one I want. Um, I know when I went to the convention, people were telling me, the salesmen were saying, just get this one. This would help you do patches, but it was like a really big one. So for me to get a big one, it wouldn't it, it wouldn't work for me because I don't have the room for it. So maybe something that I could set in here at my house, learn it, and then maybe later on in the future I could open my shop, and or I just move from here, depending how this goes, depending how my side business it takes off. You know, if it really helps out, and I'm able to pull an additional income when I'm creating shirts, hats, um, decorate pants, sweats, for for people that want to create a brand, um, I'll be able to help them. And by getting an embroidery machine, it's I think I'm not really a hat person, but I like having hats. I like buying different hats. And if you guys seen any of my videos on top of my room, on top of my closet, I have a whole bunch of hats, uh, mostly LA hats. One that I did, it says the hustle or the struggle. I'm sorry, the struggle, because, and I did that hat in particular because when I was going through a really rough time, and I went through depression, and then we got kicked out from our apartment, and we had like a few months to move out, and you know our rent was double the amount of what we pay before. Back then we were paying 1,800, now we're paying 3,000. So like I said, really trying to level up this business so that we can get our own place, and maybe I could work from my garage, and I could provide services for the neighborhood. You know, I grew up around this area, Cudahy, Southgate, Bell. I've lived here almost my entire life. Um, I lived on Cudahy for 20 something years. I've been with my wife in the city of Bell for 23 years. We're now in Southgate, and hopefully we move out to a bigger place soon, so that one that has a garage, and I don't have to you know uh, do my work outside. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and um, again, you guys support my journey. Um, I see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos like this, and see you guys the next one.